Aloha, everybody. I hope you had a nice 3-day weekend. Welcome to week 2 of quarter 3 of biology. This week we are basically catching up a little bit from what our Kuleana was last Thursday. In class, we needed more time to work on our mitosis modeling, so I kind of gave us the day to do that. So we kind of pushed back our schedule a little bit. So your Kuleana for today, if you haven't already done this from last week, you have 2 ed puzzles to watch that are kind of wrapping up chapter 11. So hopefully you're modeling mitosis assignment that you guys did kind of give you a really good understanding of the different steps of mitosis and what happens when and why. So, when that goes wrong, that whole mitosis, when something isn't right, like the cell cycle is off, that kind of has a lot of potential negative impacts on our bodies and all animals that go through this process of mitosis. So instead of having you guys read 11.3, I want you guys to watch this ed puzzle. It's really interesting. Cancer comes from when our cells aren't dividing properly or when something goes haywire. And then this 11.4 is really interesting about stem cells and like how do cells, become specialized, like what process allows them to get that way, and it kind of brings up some ethical questions, which is pretty interesting. And then to wrap up chapter 11, there's this extra credit podcast. If you haven't already done that, I would wait until you until you do this 11.3 ed puzzle, because this kind of talks about these really weird tumors that are in Tasmanian devils. And, just to give you a little bit of background knowledge, you should probably finish this 11.3 ed puzzle first. And then, so do this if you want a little bit of extra credit and you haven't done it already. And I'll give you a grade once you submit your questions for that. And then this week we are jumping right into chapter 12. So chapter 12, we're starting, more of our genetics unit. So looking at now that we've understood how normal cells divide, how do we actually reproduce? And what are some of the concepts that we can understand from cells dividing and our genes replicating and reproducing? So we're going to look at the work of Gregor Mendel. He did a lot of interesting work on genetics, looking at pea flower plants and kind of the traits that come along with that. He bred a lot of different hybrids, and he kind of laid the groundwork for what we now interpret today as modern genetics. So you guys are gonna miss this in class lab. It's really straightforward and basic. We're just basically gonna be using dry beans to kind of simulate this concept of segregation, which you'll read about in 12.1. So if you want to come in on Tuesday and do that in person with us, it's maybe going to take 25 minutes or so. So you're more than welcome to come in if you want. Kind of moving straight on from that, doing 12.1 homework and then 12.2 notes. And you should note that you'll see that you have an assignment for each one of these notes packets. So you'll have an assignment for 12.1 notes that's going to be due on Tuesday. 12.2 notes, it's homework on Tuesday. It's going to be due on Wednesday. So that's the day that you need to be submitting it to me. And then if it's late, I kind of gave you guys a grace period last week as we kind of adjust into the new late policy. So if I don't have your 12.2 notes by Wednesday, for example, then I will mark it late and you'll get 10% off if it's due, if you turn it in on Thursday, for instance. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, you'll see that you need to submit your notes for each individual section now. So I hope that makes it a little bit easier for you guys to kind of keep track of the pacing and the kind of sequencing of things. So read 12.2. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about 12.2 in class a little bit. We're going to do this ed puzzle. And then for homework, this is your gene symbols, the second page in your BCV packet. And again, if you haven't picked that up, you need to. Because this assignment is due on Thursday. So I need to receive it on Thursday. Yeah. Oops. Sorry. And then on Thursday, we're going to do this corn Punnett squares worksheet. So you may not know what that is yet, but once you read 12.2, you'll understand what a Punnett square is. And this one that's on corn is actually going to tie into your guys' assessment that's at the end of chapter 12. Okay, so this is kind of laying the groundwork for your quiz that you're going to have next week. So within this worksheet on Schoology, let me show you. Once you click, once you get to it and you've done your 12.2 stuff, corn, Punnett squares, where is it? It's on Thursday. So once you click on this and you'll open up your own document, there's going to be a video within the worksheet that's going to kind of briefly go over how you should do it. Okay, so I'm going to make that video next. So once you get through 12.2 stuff, you're going to do this worksheet on Thursday and submit it on Thursday. It's due on Thursday. Okay. And then we have another 3-day weekend. So get your 12.2 homework done after you do this Punnett Squares worksheet. And then we're skipping 12.3 if you notice. So we're going to jump right into 12.4 next Monday. And then we're going to have a quiz. I think our quiz is going to be next Tuesday. Okay. So let me just show you, because I am going to have a sub next Monday. And then our quiz is going to be on Tuesday. Okay, so this is what our schedule looks like this week. And then next week I have a sub, and we're going to wrap up our 12.4 with another ed puzzle and then these other 2 coloring pages. So if you want to get a head start and make sure that you're super prepared for our quiz on chapter 12 on Tuesday, you can get a head start on this stuff, which is going to be on Monday, because you guys have a 3-day weekend. So you want to get your coloring pages done, you want to do your ed puzzle, you want to catch up on anything that you're missing from chapter 12. That's what the kids in class on this next Monday are going to be doing. So just to kind of give you a heads up on that. That's what our week looks like. And you guys can always, if you remember, you can always click on this button here, class calendar, to see what the month looks like. If you guys want to come in and schedule, a visit to do a lab in person or stuff like that. Remember to do your attendance every day. And then, if you ever want to see what the last week looked like, you can do that by clicking here, previous week's Kuleana. Okay. So you can make sure that you have all this stuff done from last week. And then hopefully if you do have stuff missing, it shows up as like overdue. I'm not really sure what that looks like on your screen, but make sure that you don't have anything missing in the grade book, because we do have that late penalty now. So let me know if you have any questions about the Kuleana for this week. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward. I hope you guys have a great week and a very productive Monday. And reach out if you need anything, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Aloha.